So, moving along swiftly. Okay, so there's another issue where I can't root. Big up Benji, man. Big up Benji. I know you guys did a great show, by the way. Big up Pep Talk. You know, I chimed in and I saw, and I wanted to leave a message, but I didn't want to throw everybody off. Like, I just wanted to see who you are, and like, I loved it. Big up Joe. It was amazing. Big up you, Kenny. It was a great show.
Yeah, it's good. You know, talking about that show. Sorry to digress about.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Go on.
There was so much. There's so much. You know, after I'd done the show, I thought, oh, we could have said that. You know, about Tyson Fury's interview with.
Why don't you put things down?
No, because that's the thing. You know, it was only after I finished the show that I saw his interview with Phelps, and then there's other things that that I've written down now that we're going to discuss.
We'll talk about it on Monday, won't we?
Yeah, definitely on Monday, because there are some valid points that I think Fight Fan won't agree with me on, but we better stick to the point in case we lead a beat. But I'm just going to just say one thing, right?
Yeah.
Fight Fan, this is for you, right? And don't answer me, but just give it some thought. Simon Jordan said on Talk Sport that the Anthony Joshua, he suggested, and something I agree with, that the Anthony Joshua fight with Tyson Fury, the proposed fight, is obscene and out of order because it's actually stalling the careers of other fighters like Usyk and Dillian White and possibly Wilder. I'll leave you at that, Fight Fan.
Interesting. I'm going to write that down so I can have a ponder on it.
Yeah, I saw the interview. I saw that.
What do you think?
As a fan, I would like there to be no politics so that we get all the fights that we get, that we would like to see. Everybody fighting everybody. But as boxers, I think they're all going to be selfish when it comes to their own careers. I do not think Fury or AJ will lose a minute's sleep.
Of course not.
Worrying about Joyce, Usyk, Dillian White, any other mandatory that's careers being held up while they are brokering probably one of the biggest deals of their life. And that's just a sad shame about it.
Yeah, but morally, I think it's wrong because at the end of the day, how many hoops does Dillian White have to do? Dillian White's probably going to have a career where he's earned so much money and he's been a pay-per-view fighter, but his opportunity to fight for a world title.
What I would say is, I don't think Usyk or Dillian White would give a crap if it was them two that had the belts, and it was Fury and Joshua that was waiting for their chance.
Yeah, but in the interest of fair,
they might, because Dillian White is always operates at a place where let's get the fights and let's get them done now. I'm not really sure if Dillian White would be a whole.
Dillian White's the
time. He would take his time to broker the biggest deal. He would take his time, make sure the biggest deal is done right. Make sure they get the best offers in. I would bank that Dillian would try and get the best.
So you two don't agree with me then? You two don't agree with me? I just think that I don't like I like the fact the fight's been made.
Yeah.
I like the fact I like the fact that
I agree.
But I don't like the bulldozing approach to it. In terms of like I've always believed if you earn your stripes, then you should get your rewards in boxing. Especially when there's time in boxing is just like it's basically like the speed of light. You blink and it's over. And I just think that fight again, because we're talking about Tyson Fury, who are a massive fan of, but we're dissecting his resume. We're dissecting the fact, is he a proper champion? Yeah. If I was to go on your on be Lady CHANN, walk around in your shoes.
Yeah.
The fact that he's having a fight with AJ at the expense of other fighters is another situation where Tyson Fury has been gifted a position in order to, retain his titles without doing the hard yards. But I'm a fan, so I'm all right. But I see where you're coming from now. And Simon Jordan, and Simon Jordan has mentioned the point. And I've said it many times on Twitter last year. I find the whole prospect of the fight obscene because of the fact of what it's doing to someone like Dillian White's career. But as Leon says, dog eat dog. You know what I mean? So dog eat dog. Who gets the bone first?
Yeah. And see, this is what I'm liking with you two, because you two are both Tyson Fury like fans, supporters, and that, yeah. And I could have got. It was quite hard. I could have got a panel of all AJ lovers, yeah. But that's not what I'm about, because this is why I'm trying to operate fairly. Like, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter if I'm surrounded like by. I'm not calling you guys sharks, but if I go into the water and I'm surrounded by sharks, but I'm wearing fucking metal, yeah, and everywhere I'm encased in metal, the sharks can't get me. It doesn't matter. I'll wade in there. So, because if I operate from facts, and there's no refuting facts, so it doesn't matter how many people don't have the same view as me. It doesn't matter, because I'm dealing with facts. That's all I'm coming with. That's all. So, and I appreciate you guys that are Fury. You're Fury fans, but you're understanding. Yeah,
but yeah, Dave, I've got a lot of time for Anthony Joshua as well.
Yeah,
and like I said, it's a win-win for me. I love both the fighters.
Yeah.
But if you really want to push me, I'm more of a Dillian Whyte fight than either of the two fighters. But
yeah, so
I've got a lot of love for, yeah, but you know, because of his story. But you know, I'm a massive AJ fan because you know how he came up for ranks, and I'm a massive fan of Tyson Fury how he came ranks. But I genuinely believe that Tyson Fury will beat AJ.
Yeah,
but that's another discussion.
Yeah. And you've always said that, Ken. And I get it. Like that's your opinion. I'm never gonna be like, I'm never gonna be like, nah. I get it. You've always stood by that and said that. So I get that. So all right. So moving on. So another reason why. Let me ask you this question. Can you? I thought I could, right? But I'm beginning to realize that I can't. I thought I could separate. I can to a degree. I thought I could separate the boxer entirely from the person, like from their life, what they do outside the ring.
Okay, all right. I get where you're coming from, because you know I get you coming from with Tyson. I think you know we alluded to that on about 2 weeks ago, that Tyson Fury, in terms of like his antics and the verbal sewage that was coming out of his mouth, before he fought Klitschko, there was a lot of people in Great Britain who wanted Klitschko to put him in his arse and shut him up because of the way he conducted himself. And I think Tyson Fury probably has had a humbling experience. For him, mental health issues, near suicide, near-death experience. And he's turned it around to the extent that he's now an advocate for men. Men don't talk about their problems. Men don't ever see a doctor. Men are brought up to be tough and hard. They're not brought up to cry. And Tyson Fury's get a lot of men talking about their mental health. But the Tyson Fury, pre-Klitschko, wasn't, for me, I thought he was funny, but I think he had some issues, obviously strong beliefs in Christianity and everything, in his gypsy background. But I can understand why people wanted to see him getting put in his arse. But again, I suppose that's why a lot of people still, going in the memory battle for England. Yeah, he does this and he's changed. But remember, I can't get past those comments from 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And before Fight Fan Figures answers, I think, I'm not saying that he doesn't suffer from mental health. Who knows? I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. But what I'm not going to really accept is that has become his brand, and anything that he does, that is his force field, because he's had mental health. Let me tell you a little story. He's overcame adversity. Get it, respect it all day long. I get it. But one day, I found out that I had a spinal tumor, and I went to the hospital, and after doing all the MRIs, and I had most of the tumor removed. It's benign, slow growth tumor, non-cancerous. But I had like pins and needles for ages, didn't know what was going on. Hence, fast forward. So 3 months later, they removed majority of the tumor. Had to leave some residual because obviously it's on the spinal cord. So they was like, oh, there's a 20% chance that you know, that it could grow back.
Mm.
Coolio. Anyway, fast forward maybe 5 years after that, same symptoms came back, did the whole rigmarole, the tumour's back, right? And then I'm in the midst of doing my career, doing my shows, music, whatever. So then they put me into the hospital to remove the tumour again. Cool. So I go down to thingy, and I remember being put out like, bye, like, thanks guys, do your best work. And then I woke up, coughing, choking and gagging. I had a ventilator down in my throat and into my lungs. So they've taken it out and they put me on oxygen. And then I've realised that this isn't the same procedure as what's happened 5 years before. I don't feel any pain in my back. Damn, that means these pain meds are great. I look around, everyone seems to be, there's only like 4 of us. One to my right, me, myself, one opposite me, 2 opposite me, with a nurse station at everything. So anyway, once I've woke up and all of this procedure's done, I'm on oxygen. My temples are killing me. My ribs are killing me. I've got friction burns on my legs, like once you've been scraped. So what I then found out is that when they put me under, they used a different antibiotic, and I suffered one of the worst anaphylactic shots that surgeons can see within a 30-year career. Sorry if I'm boring you lot, but
no. Carry on.
Yeah, like that in a 30 years neurosurgeon career, they would see that anaphylaxis maybe twice, maybe in 30 years. So what happened is I basically flatlined, and for 5.5 minutes I was flatlined. I woke up with a line right into my jugular vein. So basically what happened is they put me under, they turned me on my front, because obviously they're going to do my back, and they administered 400 milligrams of antibiotic just to like clean the whole body, because they're going to do surgery. But what they didn't know is that I'm highly allergic to it. So basically what happened is I ballooned up. This is what I'm told. I was ballooned up. A massive rash came all over my body. My heart rate went and then it crashed. So they've whipped me around, and they've had to do chest compressions and CPR, still flatlined. They then administered the line in my neck, which they administered adrenaline and steroid, still flatlined. Then they're still doing chest compressions, still flatlined. We're into like 4 minutes. Remember, 7 minutes, 7 minutes is when the brain usually starts to shut down.
Yes, right.
Then they get the machine up again, and then they do like clear. And thank God I came back. I came back.
Yeah.
Obviously, no knowledge of this. I'm just going by what I've been told. So when I woke up, the doctors that's why I was on a ventilator and stuff like that. And then the doctors came to me and said, well, gosh, it was 10 hours later. They was like, well, thank God that you woke up, and, you know, this is what happened. Basically, the last time we saw you, you wasn't alive. This is what happened. So what I'm saying is, the bottom line is, I've gone through that, And if I want to participate in something, or something that I was participating beforehand, then that happened to me, I cannot use that to negate the rules. If I don't like it, don't be in it. It doesn't matter if I flatline for 5.5 minutes. It doesn't matter if you had mental health. What matters is we give you respect and props that you overcame it. Cool. And you've overcame it enough that now you want to participate in the sport that you love. Cool. But now you have to play by the rules.
But has Tyson Fury ever played by the rules? That's always been his thing, hasn't it? That he just does what he wants. He doesn't listen to sanctioning bodies. He doesn't listen to border controls. He doesn't follow and fit. He just chooses not to follow their rules, and if it means they strip him of a belt, then you can have the damn belt. That's always been Tyson Fury's thing, isn't it? That's just what he does. He will not be beholden to it.
This is what we're going with, champion. And
I do. In that respect, I do get it, because I think what's happened, right, is that in terms of the sport that we love, obviously, you know me, I'm more of a gooner, an Arsenal fan, a football fan.
I know.
And you know that, but obviously boxing's up there.
Yeah,
but I do understand the sport. I've watched a lot of fights live. Me and my wife love going all over the country, and I've got to know a lot of fighters, and that's how I've got based up my knowledge from watching the fights. But I do get you, Kevin. It's that it's about role models. You know, WBA, the WBC, the IBF. They want someone who could be a role model, and I think it's not an AJ show.
No,
it's a Tyson Fury show.
Yeah.
I get it, and I think it's a thing I always talk about. I don't know if you guys are football fans, but there was two Brazilian footballers, Pelé and Garrincha.
Yeah,
Pelé was a corporate man who was all right. Garrincha's both black, although Garrincha's light skinned with obviously fans. Pelé's black African Brazilian, right?
Yeah, African Brazilian.
But what's happened is that if you wanted to go and meet the other, everyone from the head of states from all over the world, the Brazilian Prime Minister and the Brazilian FA, you take Pelé, because Pelé represents Brazil. Someone like Garrincha represents the favelas in Brazil.
Yeah, the favelas. I've been there.
So it's the people's champion. Tyson Fury, is like Garrincha. Anthony Joshua is the one. He's marketable, but he's got he's marketable to the extent that
and everyone tears him down.
Everyone tears him down, but
no one stands up for him. Not that he's asking, but nobody stands up for him. The whole nation doesn't stand up for him. The whole boxing community doesn't stand up for him.
Is Joshua?
AJ has his supporters.
AJ has his support. You'll get Tyson. You'll get Mike Tyson talking about, AJ telegraphs his punches. And this and that and that. Maybe he did. Maybe he did telegraph his punches.
Tyson Fury's a Garrincha, isn't he? Tyson Fury's a Garrincha.
Yeah.
Vander Holyfield and AJ, they're Pelés.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. That's the thing about in terms of Tyson Fury is that all these people, they want someone who can represent the belt, go around the schools, represent boxing.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury doesn't want that, although he's got a very good he seems to have a decent relationship with Suleiman and the WBC. But in terms of what we're expecting, the sort of person who can go to Downing Street, have a little handshake, go and Good Morning Britain. He's obviously gets on Piers Morgan, but I'm talking about a world tour. It's not going to swear, not going to belch, not going to eat with his hands.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think in that respect, Tyson Fury doesn't want that. He sees himself as a people's champion. Like AJ, if you went up to AJ and said, "Look,
he's corporate."
Anthony, we want you to be one of the nominees for the British Sports Personality. Yeah, I'm having that. Tyson Fury,
Tyson Fury's like, no thanks, and get me off, otherwise I'll sue ya.
Yeah. So I see what you mean.
Yeah. It's just
but that was more because of the history. Because Tyson. Back in 2015, was it? He suffered a serious bout of cancel culture when
he did. After he beat Klitschko, right?
Yes, and they just went wild on him. The BBC specifically attacked him, and then they tried to give him an award. And I get his point. Don't have your reporters trying to come for me really hard because of my religious beliefs, and then try and put me up to be taking one of your popularity awards when you've just done everything you can to diminish my popularity. And then you're trying to put me up for a bloody popularity award. It didn't make it,
it was contradictory, right?
And if I was, I wouldn't have anything to do with the BBC ever again.
But I think, Leon, I'm very much, as you can imagine, I'm very much a Garrincha rather than a Pelé, and the Tyson Fury, the Garrincha in Tyson Fury. That's why I'm a fan of Tyson Fury, the Garrincha, the guy from the favelas. You know what I mean? People's champion.
Yeah.
And Dillian White is a Garrincha. Is a Garrincha
yes, he is.
as well.
and he's really grown on me because when it was, you know, the war with the AJ and him and the build-up, I really disliked him, and I didn't really want to because he's kind of from the same. Me and Dillian White have got more in common than me and Anthony Joshua of
actually, Anthony Joshua, before he got all his fame, was very much
naughty boy
from the ends. He was from the ends.
Yeah,
he obviously didn't have Dillian White's struggle, but he wasn't built.
Yeah, no, he was naughty. Yeah.
He was a wrong un.
Yeah, he was. And boxing turned him right, so I appreciate it. It's just like culturally wise, like I'm Jamaican, like half Jamaican. Dillian White's half Jamaican. My dad's from Brixton. I grew up going to Brixton. Dillian White's from Brixton, so I know the vibes in that pattern in that respect. But yeah, like you said, he's a Galencia. Yeah, and he's grown on me, and I actually really do like Dillian White. To be honest, I really do. So what I was saying is with all this, so. We've gone past like holding mental health as your brand or as your shield. It doesn't really matter to me. I negate it and I don't care about it. Yeah, and people want to come at me and say, "Oh, how can you go at mental health, mate?" I've just told you my story, so it's like, I didn't have to tell you that story, and I didn't say that story as anything to be like pity. I had to use it as a strong reference. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't use any of that to not do anything else that I need to do in life. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can't use that when things get a bit sticky. Oh, guys, remember I did die for 5.5 minutes. Like, you know, like, please, I've gone through such a traumatic thing. Like, it was fucking traumatic. It still is. But at the end of the day, I'm here and we've got over it, and I have to play by the rules if I want to.
But you know what, Shan?
Yeah.
If you were willing to use that as a shield, and you were to say to me, you know, I don't need this abuse, Leon. I died for 5 minutes on an operating table. If I came back and said I don't care, then that kind of makes me a dick. So it's like, why you hold it up?
It makes me a dick. It makes me a dick. It makes me a dick that I had to make you say that to be a dick. You was actually right. Because if I do come into something and go, Leon, do you know what? Like, if I'm talking to you on a one-on-one and we're talking on a personal level and there's some shit going down and I go, do you know what, Lee, man? I fucking died for 5.5 minutes. I ain't got fucking time for all of this. That's me saying I'm not participating in this shit because I've been through some mad things and I don't want to participate in that. If I say to you, Leon, do you know what, man? I want to go to the gym, man. Like, and then, like, and I want to enter a chest press competition, yeah. And then I go, do you know what, man? I'm not doing this part of the competition. I'll do that bit and I'll do that bit, man. Because I've overcome some fucked up shit. Like, I was dead for 5.5 minutes. No, my G, Shan, you want to participate? This is the rule. Fuck everything that you've gone through. We get it. You've gone through it to be able to get to do this. Now you've got to do this. Play by the rules. Facts. Yay or nay?
I agree, but then we have to, you know, but somehow Fury's managed to be able to navigate a position.
This is what I'm saying. And we're going to touch on this. This is where it starts to get sticky, icky, mate. Yeah? So...